This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And want to pay homage and respect to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who I've been getting my teachings and edification from. And to the hopefully elect out there scattered across the four corners of the earth. Hope that they tune in, hearing the word being preached out from all different ways through social media, YouTube, however they're hearing this right now. Brothers and sisters, it's come down to that time. I'm going to title this video Stimulus Package equals Digital Dollar, aka Mark of the Beast. And the House of Democrat has just issued a stimulus package that they think all of American citizens will benefit from. So I'm going to turn your attention to that article right now that has just been posted by Forbes. All right. March 23rd, 2020 at 8:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It says here, coronavirus stimulus offered by House Financial Services Committee creates new digital dollar. So it was only a matter of time, folks, before this was going to come into pass. Okay, the book of Revelations told us about the mark of the beast being the RFID chip. What does the RFID chip represents? It not only represents the mark of the beast, but it represents a digital currency. And we talked about this in my previous videos, being that if you take this chip, right, this chip will have every single thing of your information. That includes your identification, your passport information, if you own any bank accounts, financial institution, going back to your social security number, from your medical records, anything that has to do with you and that has to do with your money will be in this digital currency. Okay. And if you're asking yourself watching this video, well, why would they create something like that for us to take? It's because this was the plan many years ago. Okay. This has been the plan many years ago to set up a one world government to control all of society. So I'm going to read just a little bit of this so you guys can get the picture and finally get your head out of your asses and understand the times that we're in. So it says here, as the markets continue to drop and the U.S. looks to Congress for an agreement on a massive stimulus package to save the economy from impacts of the coronavirus pandemic, the newest offer by House Democrats includes a very forward-looking kind of stimulus, the creation of a digital dollar and the establishment of digital dollar wallets, and what will send shockwaves through the cryptocurrency and blockchain industry, particularly for those following central bank digital currencies around the world. This signals the U.S. is serious in establishing infrastructure for a central bank digital currency, and it's just a start. Says here, both Speaker Pelosi's Take Responsibility for Workers and Families Act and the Financial Protections and Assistance for America's Consumers, States, Businesses, Vulnerable Population, introduced by Chairwoman Maxine Waters of Financial Service Committee, introduced these concepts today as a way of delivering the economic stimulus payment to U.S. citizens. The bill establishes a digital dollar, which it defines as a balance expressed as a dollar value consisting of digital ledger entries that are recorded as liabilities in the accounts of any Federal Reserve Bank or in an electronic unit of value redeemable by an eligible financial institution. All right, as determined by the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. aka we already know who the banking families are. Additionally, a digital dollar wallet is identified as a digital wallet or account maintained by a Federal Reserve Bank on behalf of any person that represents holdings in an electronic device or service that is used to store digital dollars that may be tied to a digital or physical identity. Okay? Keep that in mind. It says in an electronic device or service that is used to store digital dollars that may be tied to a digital or physical identity. So that electronic device is headed towards the microchip, which they will later announce sometime. It could be anytime later this month or possibly going into next month. Okay? Because it's going to happen. It says here a mandate also requires all member banks establish a pass-through digital dollar wallet to all customers eligible for the stimulus. Member banks include those banks that are members of the Federal Reserve and regulated by the Fed. Additionally, non-member state banks, those that not members of the Federal Reserve and regulated by the FDIC, could opt in to offer pass-through digital dollar wallets as well. The Federal Reserve banks themselves would also make available a digital dollar wallet to any U.S. person eligible for the payments as well. Additionally, the U.S. Postal Service would aim to help unbanked individuals and or those without proper ID to establish their identity be provided a digital dollar account and would set up ATMs for customers to access their funds. So the whole idea behind this, to you idiots out there who still don't believe us, that we've been warning you and telling you, is overall they're going to do away with a cashless society. Okay. And it surprises me because, one, they've taken a different route, because we all, not most of us, but majority of us, prophesized that the best way to set up a digital system, a digital currency, would be to use the pandemic, which they are using, but we thought they were actually going to go away and say, due to the spread of the virus through, this whole cash, going back and forth transaction society, we're going to have to do away with the cash. But what they've done is they've actually flipped it, and they've used the drop of the economy, which still doesn't make any sense to my knowledge. But what they're doing is they're coming up with the drop of the economy as a way to introduce this new system. Right. So they're taking a whole different way. And I want to go back to the scriptures here. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. I'm going to read it again. And it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So what this scripture is talking about here is, we know Satan spiritually, his children is Esau. OK, the so-called white man, which is normally the elites. OK, so-called elite family. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the Rothschilds family, the Rockefellers family. They are your top elites that own the banking systems, as far as the Federal Reserve banks and so forth. They are the ones who hold the power seat of controlling all global masses around the world. OK, and with that being said, we know of his devices, and this is one of Satan's devices, setting up this digital currency. OK, because what he's trying to do is, by him setting up this digital currency, they're going to test run it through the U.S. because everything runs through America, aka Babylon the Great. And with that being said, once they run this test out through, they will set this digital currency up as a follow through across all other nations, meaning other countries. Hence, therefore, that's why you see the stock market crashing and going into recession. This won't only affect the United States of America. This is going to affect the global economy. Why? Because everything, as you see, is already shut down. Trade agreements have been placed on hold. Shipments on docks, containers, and everything have seized up. Other countries have closed up their borders. So obviously, when that happens, okay, a panic cries out across the whole economy of every country. Why? Because businesses are not making money. So when the country doesn't make money, guess what happens? It has to dip into the Federal Reserve and ask for such a quote unquote stimulus package deal, right? Which that particular country asks the federal bank to pretty much bail them out. Okay, and then what the government would then do is they would take that money and they would try to put it into small businesses, big businesses, or Fortune 500 companies to be able to uphold those businesses so that they can, allegedly pay their staff or employees. But to the person who has wisdom and is using them wisdom wisely to understand the status quo here and what's going on, you would know that why would any government dip into the Federal Reserve asking for a fucking bailout, right? But at the same time, you turn around and you issue a stage 2 or more of a lockdown, meaning that if you're shutting down businesses and everything from working, what's the point of dipping into the Federal Reserve Bank to put money into those businesses just to pay out the employees to make sure that they're getting paid and to make sure that all companies are still running? That's the whole point of the stimulus package, not just to pay everyday civilians check by check each month. No, the stimulus package at the beginning was to issue a backup, paycheck for these big businesses, the small businesses, so that they are able to still pay their employees to work. But if you're now putting everybody on lockdown and you're shutting down anything that is considered quote unquote non-essential, right? And you already placed the law out there saying under the coronavirus law, saying that you cannot have no more than 10 people within a crowd, then that's impossible for any job really to stay open. So if workers cannot go to work, what's the point of those businesses having that money when they're not getting any business because everything is shut down? Trading is shut down. Okay. Logistics is now shut down. So now trucks are not able to go and deliver goods, packages, and all supplies of sort. So how can this digital currency come into an effect where they're telling you that in order to save the economy, they're going to do away with the cash and they're going to set this up? But to the wise, you're saying that it still won't matter if you're setting up as a digital currency. It's not going to matter. It is not going to matter by them setting it up. So, I want to go to Book of Revelations, and I touched on the mark of the beast, right? And I believe that was, actually, bear with me, I think that was Revelation 12 and 12. And that's another thing, because we know Esau only has but a short time. So that's why, he's pushing it. And, Revelations 12 and 12 tells us that. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe, meaning destruction, to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." Right. So that's talking about Esau. He's doing everything he can in his power to really place hold on us, this one world government and this digital currency. Now, that's just the beginning of things, because now this all sets up the major picture, even with implementing martial law, because martial law is fully being established to bring order, to keep that fear and chaos right? Because if you control the masses of the people, you take away the real agenda of what's being implemented. So now that great wrath is going to be martial law implemented, which they are already establishing in the major cities. Pretty soon is going to be mandatory across all 50 states. It's just a matter of time. That wrath is going to be, if you don't take this package and you don't set up the device, which later they will announce that it will be a microchip involved, because at the moment, yeah, they can set up the digital wallet device via your cell phone, your mobile phone, whatever it is, right? Or you can go online or whatever. But they're going to make it out to be that they're going to smooth talk you. Okay. They're going to smooth talk you into saying that they've done everything. They taken out, all ideas on implementing a state of the art type of revolutionary device, aka the mark of the beast. And that mark of the beast is going to be the end game. Okay. It's going to be the end game. All right. Here it is, Revelations 13. And I'm gonna start at verse 16 here. And it says, and he calls it all but small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right? Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay. Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. That's 66666. All right. Let's go back to the article, because it says, and that no man might buy or sell. Right. Well, we just read here at the end of the article. Let me just go back and find it. Says here, Federal Reserve Bank, the digital wallet or account maintained by a Federal Reserve Bank on behalf of any person that represents holdings in the electronic device or service that is used to store digital dollars that may be tied to a digital or physical identity. That's the chip. OK, it's only a matter of time. All right. And let's says here, the federal last paragraph here, the Federal Reserve Banks themselves would also make available a digital dollar wallet to any U.S. person eligible for the payments as well. Additionally, the U.S. Postal Service would aim to help unbanked individuals and or those without proper ID to establish their identity, be provided a digital dollar account, and would set up ATMs for customers to access their funds. Why? Because we just read in Revelations, right? And verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast. OK, because in order for you to get access to your funds, what they're saying here is you have to properly be set up with this digital wallet in order for you to access your funds. So that's their way of smooth talking, saying that they're trying to do away with the cashless society. I mean, there's no other way around this. And if you don't get it by now, destruction unto you, man. Destruction unto you. OK, so I'm eager to see how this is going to play out, to the brothers who are in the truth, who ought to know and who have been saying this for a very, very long time. We knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. OK, because what's going to happen is it's going to come down to a point where in order for you to buy or sell, you have to take that chip regardless. So you brothers out there who think that y'all, you scoffers out there who was talking about, oh, brother, you don't know what you're talking about. Ain't nothing gonna happen, man. Society's gonna return back. Yeah, the only way society is gonna return back now is by implementing this chip to this new digital currency that they trying to push out. So what's gonna happen when your old lady in the house and you got kids and you're starving, because there's going to come to a point where they're going to say, hey, in order for you to account yourself with this digital currency, right, you're going to have to take the chip. Now, let's say, okay, because I don't want to put all, eggs into one basket. So let me back up for a minute and I'll end it on this. As we've read through this, Forbes, through this article, the device that they could use to set up the digital wallet, as I said before, it could very well be using your cell phone, or it could very well be using your debit card. OK, they can very well set that up. OK, but they're going to create another false flag to do away with using your cell phone and to do away with using your debit or credit card, to implement a better option, which will lead to that microchip. OK, there is no way around this. This is going hand to hand. You have to look at the signs. You have to look at the signs. OK, because once again, this is the main purpose of why this whole pandemic started in the first place. This is the reason why that whole pandemic started in the first place. But really, the reason why the pandemic even came into play was not so just setting up this digital currency. No. What the U.S. has done creating this whole coronavirus setup is they've taken your minds and attentions off the real news, which is the U.S. has been fighting Iranian soldiers and Iraqi soldiers over there in Iraq. They're killing each other because Iran is teaming up with China to do an investigation on the U.S. setting up the coronavirus. That's the real news right there. They don't want the country to go into an even more breakdown of World War III happening. Notice the World War III talks have pretty much not, I'm not going to say, been done away with, but notice it's kind of died down a little bit since this pandemic has started. Why is that? Because they're trying to take away and take your minds off the real issue at hand. There's going to be a nuclear destruction on America, and it's coming. They know it. The ones who are awake are in the truth know it, and there's no way of getting around it. And I'm going to drop another video showing you proof that these two nations, Slovakia, these two nations, really United States and Iran, really have it out for each other. And China, they're waiting. Russia is backing them up as well. And I'm going to drop another video, expelling all of those details on you guys to show you what's really been going on behind closed doors, because everybody is so worried about the lockdown, the pandemic that's going on, social distancing, and all of that crap. But as I said, the real issue is what's going on between these two nations behind the scenes. And we're going to get into that in a different video on a different topic. So with that, I hope you guys were sincerely edified by this video. Please post, share, comment, like if you have any questions or concerns about what was, brought up within this video. Feel free to comment, do whatever it is you like. I want to say peace and love, Israel, and to the elect and to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I've getting my teachers and edification from. Shalom, brothers.